Hi, and welcome to this introductory workshop on how to use NVivo 12 for social media analysis. This workshop is geared towards those that have previously completed the Introduction to NVivo workshop and have a basic working knowledge of the NVivo layout. First, we will be going into what social media analysis is and how NVivo 12 can support it. Then I will show you how to download InCapture and use it to download data from social media websites. Next, we will import this data into NVivo and view the dataset features and chart options. And before finally, we will move into more data analysis features such as word frequency and word cloud and the basic auto coding functions in NVivo. So for part one, we will give a general overview of social media analysis and set up the InCapture tool to collect social media data and import it into NVivo. So first, social media analysis is the analysis of various qualitative and quantitative data collected through a range of social media tools such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, etc. Social media provides an insight to a degree into the individual and collective social behavior and preferences of the platform's users. As a qualitative data analysis software, NVivo can support the qualitative and mixed methods research of social media in multiple ways, including quickly retrieving, organizing, storing, and analyzing social data, uncovering connections in ways that are impossible, difficult, or very time-consuming manually, visualizing and conveying content in compelling ways, facilitating research transparency, such as rigorously backing up findings with evidence and processes that are shareable and replicable, and of course, saving time and increasing efficiency. NVivo does this by utilizing the InCapture tool. InCapture is a browser plugin that lets you pull data from a variety of social media websites, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, web pages, online PDFs, and LinkedIn. Now we are going to go over how to install InCapture. Unfortunately, InCapture is only available for Chrome and Internet Explorer. So if you don't have one of these web browsers, you will need to download it before continuing. InCapture is downloaded through the respective web stores of Chrome or Internet Explorer. I will show you what this looks like on the Chrome web store. So if we go to Google Chrome, and you go up to chrome.google.com, you can search the web store for InCapture. Now I've already installed it, so it says remove from Chrome because it's already installed. But if it wasn't, it would say install as this button instead. And once it's installed, you'll see this button up here appear. This is InCapture for NVivo. So once this is installed, you should see the InCapture button at the top of your browser. This process would be the same for the Internet Explorer web store as well. Now, usually InCapture is downloaded automatically when you download NVivo. So if you recently downloaded NVivo and already have InCapture, to check and make sure it's there, if you don't see this button, is to go to your menu and then to hit more tools and extensions, and that should pull up all your browser extensions, and InCapture should be listed, and just make sure it's turned on. Now that we have the InCapture tool, let's use it to pull some data from different social media websites. first we're going to do Twitter, since that's the data we'll be working with later in the tutorial. So for Twitter, you can use nCapture to capture any public data from public profiles. So anything you're interested in, you can search in Twitter. So for the example in this tutorial, I'm going to search hashtag food. And as you can see, a lot of posts pop up. So to capture this data, we just go over to the nCapture button, click it, and it'll give you two options. You can tweet as a data, you can capture the tweets as a data set, or you can capture the tweets as a web page or a PDF. Data sets are easier to work with for analyzing data. And that's the most popular feature. So that's what we are going to do. You can name it whatever you'd like. I'm just going to leave the name that it has there, hashtag food, Twitter search. You can also put a description. And you can also code it as a node before clicking capture in case you wanted to code the entire data set as a node in NVivo. But mainly you just want to make sure you click the icon, the nCapture icon, and select tweets as data set, provide a source name or whatever you'd like to name it, a description, and then just, so I'm just going to use a Twitter example. And then hit capture. And it may ask you to authorize the app if you have not already. And now it should be capturing the tweets. Keep in mind, depending on how many tweets you are capturing, this could take a while, so you might need to be patient. And if you go back to the nCapture button, you can see how it has a 1 right here. If you click it, you can also look at the capture progress at the bottom of the page by clicking that, and it'll pull up a page showing the search that you've done that it's capturing and its progress on the number of tweets capturing. Again, this may take a while depending on what exactly you're searching. But also keep in mind that Twitter does limit the amount of data that can be downloaded in a 15-minute period. So if you do need to download a large amount of tweets or tweets from multiple users, you'll have to do multiple scratches and multiple captures at different times and plan to do this over several days. So while that is capturing, I'm also going to go over to Facebook and show you what it's like to capture data from Facebook pages. So Facebook pages do work a little bit differently. The only place that you can capture data as a data set is on public Facebook pages. That's where you'll have the option to capture post as a data set. If you're in any kind of private groups or on profiles of particular people, you're not going to have this option. You'll only have the PDF option. So yeah, due to privacy concerns, you're only able to capture data sets for groups, for public groups or for public groups and for public pages. If you capture Facebook posts as PDFs, if you do want to capture data from a news feed or of a particular user, unfortunately, you won't be able to work with the data the way you can work with a data set, such as sorting, filtering, auto-coding the data set. So unlike Twitter, unfortunately, Facebook does not allow you to capture posts as data set for hashtag searches or any other searches because of the different privacy concerns and privacy settings that would be on each individual page. You must be on an individual page to use this option. However, you can still do the PDF option, you just will not have as many options for data analysis. So our Twitter hashtag search capture has finished downloading, and it'll appear at the bottom of your screen. So you would just click that and you can open the file and save it to wherever you'd like. We're going to go back to the presentation now, and I'm just going to explain a few other different social media sites that you can capture data from in the same way. So Instagram, you would go to the Instagram profile page or search a hashtag that you're interested in. You can click on that in capture icon again, but unfortunately Instagram only gives the option of capturing a web page as a PDF instead of a data set. There are no options on Instagram that give you the option of capturing it as a data set, unfortunately. So Instagram currently does not support downloading posts as data sets at all. YouTube, you can download YouTube videos either with or without comments or as a web page PDF. The video will be imported in a codable video format, whereas the comments are imported as a data set, which you can then code or auto-code. You would do the same thing where you provide a source name, a description, and then just click capture. You can also code it as an existing or a new node before clicking capture in case you wanted to code the data as a node in NVivo. So for web pages, online PDFs, and other websites like LinkedIn, the process of downloading data from these other types of websites is very similar to that from Twitter. Once you navigate to the page you're interested in, click on the icon. You can select web pages PDF for web pages such as LinkedIn, entire PDF for online PDFs, and post as data sets for public Facebook pages and groups, and public Twitter post. But you'll have to provide a source name, a description, and then just click capture. And the same thing, you can code it as to an existing node or a new node before clicking capture in case you wanted to code that data as a node in NVivo. There's other sites that you can download data from other sites as well, but this will often depend on the platform of that individual site and on the coding of the site in the background and their privacy restrictions. So for that reason, the ability to download data from many other sites is on a case-by-case basis and on a trial and error basis. For example, comments from some WordPress-based blogs can be downloaded, but for other blogs on this platform, it's not possible. When in doubt, you can always try it and see what happens. And also keep in mind, you can go back as technology updates and changes. Different rules are often changed as well. So you can always go back and see if any privacy restrictions have been lifted or changed or so on and so forth.